Y'all got a minute? I got some gossip. Come on in, close the door. Jasmine Crockett, you thought them folks liked you? No, baby, they pushed you up to be their mouthpiece, honey. They needed somebody who would sit there and disrespect and dishonor the office of the president of the United States because they didn't have the balls to do it. So they pushed you up there and you fell for a hook, line, and sinker. And then you actually turned around and thought them folks liked you and wanted you to represent them. And you've shown that you have no decorum, no honor, no respect. They didn't want you representing them, baby. They just pushed you up to do what they were scared to do, and you fell for it hook, line, and sinker. And now you sitting up there licking your wounds, trying to figure out why your ego is so deflated. No, baby, they used you. And then she's angry because, you know, the president could have called me. No, ma'am. You're finding out you're not as important as you thought you were. Take some of the air out your chest, okay? Go chill out, rebrand, and come back as who you really are. A private school educated girl from suburbia. All right? The lashes and lace front crew, they pushed your head up and they made a fool out you, baby. That behavior, You think if I got a congressional seat, I'll be in there with AAVE and Ebonics, or do you think I would have some decorum? Because there's a time and place for everything. Anyway, listen.
What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys pulling up. I am your brother Wise, man. We got to talk about it, man, because Jasmine Crockett was just defeated last night. Word is out that quote unquote progressive Christian James Tallarico best Jasmine Crockett in the state of Texas for the Democratic primary. Now, I know you guys seen the opening clip. Jasmine Crockett, for the better part of 2 years, maybe a little more than that, has basically just made a full-fledged behind of herself. Let's keep it PG. She has. She's been a mascot for the Democrat Party, and she thought that the best thing that she could possibly do is take the next step into the Senate. And the people of Texas, thankfully, said, nah, we good. But the people of Texas got more work to do because you have a radical now running, a radical progressive, quote unquote Christian, we'll call him a Christian in name only, running for a Senate seat in the state of Texas. So my folks out in Texas, y'all got way more work to do. But I am glad to see that the career, or at least for right now, the career of Jasmine Crockett is over. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it.
So that's my news, is that we're not going to have election results tonight, in my opinion, based upon what specifically is taking place in Dallas County. Unfortunately, this is what Republicans like to do.
Really?
And so they specifically targeted Dallas County, and I think we all know why. So I want you to enjoy yourselves, but I won't be back tonight because I have no idea of when we're going to get results, and I fully anticipate it won't be until tomorrow. So I love y'all too. Thank you so very much for being here. Love you down. I love you down, Dallas.
Is it the case that Republicans in Texas just really didn't want Jasmine Crockett to win because she was black? Or is it that the voters just chose Tallarico? Because there's this interesting video that I saw of this white woman who was crying because she thought Tallarico could win, even though she liked Crockett.
Yes, we need a fighter. And I was so ready to vote for Jasmine Crockett because I love her. But I voted for Tallarico because we need somebody who can win.
Now, what's actually very fascinating to me is that people think that James Tallarico is electable when he says things like this.
Is both masculine and feminine and everything in between. God is non-binary.
So Democrats in Texas think that Mr. God is non-binary. And by the way, abortion's okay because Mary chose to give birth to Jesus is going to win in the state. I did want Crockett to win the primary, not because I thought she was a bigger threat. It's just because Tallarico is so slimy and disgusting. One of the most lioness, low-down, dirty politicians I've ever seen try to pervert the gospel, that I just don't want to have to see him for, till November. But, I guess we're going to have to keep talking about how God isn't non-binary.
This is absolutely right. She is absolutely right. James Tallarico is definitely, he's definitely not a Christian. You know, we're going to get into him here in a quick second, but I want to play one more clip from Jasmine Crockett because y'all already know what time it is. You're going to have the sisterhood come out. You're going to have Uncle Roro come out and all these other folks come out talking about how racist the Democrats are. I mean, I guess, you know, if they're not willing to support a black woman, the party must be racist. Y'all already know what time it is. Yeah, she tried to blame things on the Republican Party when most Republicans, even in the state and those of us outside the state, was hoping that she would win because most people thought that she would be easily defeated in the general. But at the same time, I'm actually glad that this chapter is over with for her, so we don't have to hear her discuss or talk anymore because she is a pretty insufferable individual, to say the least.
All Red has already stated, we encourage each and every one of you to remain resilient. We cannot allow this type of behavior to be rewarded because so long as they know that they can win, even if it means cheating, then they will continue to do it. So I am asking you, I am begging you to make sure that you go ahead and figure out where it is that you are supposed to vote, stand in line, wait in line.
So now she's saying that they were cheating. That was something that was put out there yesterday that, you know, that the Democrats or this whole primary situation is, you know, has run afoul. There's something going on because, you know, she's pretty much getting the doors or has gotten the doors blown off of her, you know, in this race. And a lot of it has to do with a lot of people did not think that she had the ability to win in the general. They just didn't. She was, I mean, the poll said the same exact thing. Although, you know, early on, the polls said that she would win the Democrat primary, but lose in the general against everybody, any and everybody that the Republicans would have put up. The Democrat Party said, nah, we're not allowing that to happen. And they put all of the money, it seems like, behind James Tallarico for some strange reason. What are your thoughts on it?
James Tallarico is worse than Jasmine Crockett. Now, I know that's saying a lot. No, we won't have to look at oversized fingernails and eyelashes and all of the ratchet ghetto hood talk. No, James Tallarico doesn't do that. But he is a, you know, Pee Wee Herman, Bible twisting, claiming that, you know, God is non-binary, and when he looks at the word woman, it's a term used to address the patriarchy. I mean, this guy is theologically off. He's off. And so I do think that in the long run, James Tallarico is going to be worse than Jasmine Crockett. Now, the antics may not be the same, but the ideas, the arguments, the strategies that he's going to use to seek to, you know, redefine what the Bible has to say, yeah, it's going to be loud and it's going to be blatant. I think that everyone should focus in on this race. We can't let James Tallarico become a senator. It can't happen because his heresy is diabolical. Jamie boy, James Tallarico, the judgment of God is coming upon you.
Shout out to Pastor Wu. He's absolutely right. This James Tallarico character is something else. And I'm trying to be nice, seriously. But as Pastor Wu mentioned, the heresy from this guy. I mean, you want to talk about a reprobate mind, a reprobate ideology? Oh my goodness. He is definitely that. I want you guys to listen to these clips right here. I'm about to play for you guys. Check this out.
How do you think about the competing claims of different religions? Do you believe Christianity to be more true than other religions? Do you believe there to be exclusivity in these beliefs, that they're incompatible with each other?
I believe Christianity points to the truth. I also think other religions of love point to the same truth. I think of different religious traditions as different languages. So you and I could sit here and debate what to call this cup, and you could call it a cup in English, you'd call it something else in Spanish and French, but we are all talking about the same reality. I believe Jesus Christ reveals that reality to us, but I also think that other traditions reveal that reality in their own ways with their own symbol structures. And I've learned more about my tradition by learning more about Buddhism and Hinduism and Islam and Judaism. And so I see these beautiful faith traditions as circling the same truth about the universe, about the cosmos. And that truth is inherently a mystery. And I think the most destructive thing is when religion becomes an end in and of itself. That's when religion implodes. My pastor always told me growing up that religious symbols are like aspirin. In order to work, they have to dissolve. They point beyond themselves. If you get lost in the symbols, if you get lost in the words, you're missing the reality that we're all trying to describe and talk about.
This dude is something else. It sounds like he's never read the Bible. Seriously. In John chapter 14, verse 6, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So what this guy is talking about is not out of the word of God. I'm telling you, that dude, man, he's a dangerous individual, man.
Before we go further, I want to acknowledge that our trans community needs abortion care too. Defending trans Texans is something we have to do every day at the state capitol. And you better believe I'll be giving sermons on that too. So when I use the word woman, it should not be understood as an exhaustive term, but rather as a lens through which to understand, examine, and interrogate patriarchy. Similar to how we specify anti-Black racism when...
I'm going to miss Ratchet Ghetto Jasmine Crockett. She just lost her Senate race to James Tallarico, who is a Christian who hates Christian nationalism, believes that God is non-binary.
Both masculine and feminine and everything in between. God is non-binary.
Thinks the Bible permits abortion and follows a bunch of adult content creators. He also seems to look as though he is deficient in testosterone, vitamin D, and other essential nutrients that make men, I don't know, not total betas. He looks like he doesn't know who he is. No wife, no husband. He looks maybe a little bit confused. This guy has no idea who he is, which means he probably has no idea why he believes what he does. And, you know, as much as I'm going to miss Jasmine Crockett, every time I think the Democrats can't do worse, they do. So I'm excited.
Yeah, the Democrat Party is the gift that keeps on giving in the sense of what they give us when it comes to candidates, right? You had Jasmine Crockett for the better part of, 2, 3, 4 years in Congress with some of the most outlandish takes out there, super hood, super ghetto, even though she doesn't actually come from that. And now they give us this quote unquote Christian, we'll call him a Chino, Christian in name only, who actually, when you talk to him or listen to him, he actually stands for everything that the Bible would be against. It's the craziest thing ever. But for whatever reason, Democrats in Texas decided that he would be a more formidable opponent to whoever wins the Republican primary out there in Texas. Oh, man. Like I said, the gift that keeps on giving. We'll be talking more about James Tallarico as the days, weeks, and months progress as we get closer and closer to the general election in November. But I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on Jasmine losing? What are your thoughts on this James Tallarico character? What are your thoughts on the Democrat Party in general? Man, Texas. Y'all got a job to do this general, man. Y'all better make sure you show up and show out. Texas Republicans, Texas conservatives, and to be honest with you, Texas Democrats, y'all can't support this fool. Seriously, you cannot put this fool in the Senate. I want to hear from you guys. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, He gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. And the Lord hit my chest, kicked death from my breath, put power in my step.